Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of NYK Podcast. That is Not You Know Podcast. It's good to be back again. I'm here with yours truly, Chef Carl, Queen K, and the Arsenal Maestro, Lezu. How we doing tonight,
Ooh,
guys?
Tired and
fantastic.
hungry.
Depressed.
Depressed,
Yeah.
depressed. I think your depression today, the Champions League group stage, is it group stage or is it league
How
phase?
would you know? How would you know?
I know. How would I know?
Your team is not
Is
part of it,
Is it
so
a
you
group
have no
stage or league
business.
damn.
phase? Yeah,
There's a groups that are going into
yeah, it's a league
playoffs
League,
phase.
it's
So
now.
league
the
phase.
league phase,
Yeah.
yeah, the league phase ended today, and the last
Yeah.
Who
goal
who
of the night,
who won it?
the very last goal of the night came from Benfica, the special one, Jose Mourinho, the goalkeeper
Uh,
who scored.
Goalkeeper.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
the goalkeeper that scored.
Goalkeeper
yeah.
scored.
Beautiful
Goalkeeper
header.
How did
scored
he
a
score?
header,
Header.
free
It's a free
kick.
kick.
What?
What the?
Oh yes.
It's a free
Yeah.
kick. Last minute,
They needed
Jose
one
Mourinho
goal.
said, "Go up."
Yep.
We went up, and I called it. I said, "Watch that guy score." Even though I
Uh-huh.
said bicycle kick, but
And he did what had to be done.
he could not afford the
There's
bicycle,
some
so he
there's some
just
monkey
headed.
business going on.
Nah, there isn't. There is no
No,
monkey business.
because
They needed
maybe
one goal and
And Real Madrid, that connection
Mm-mm.
there. We're like, let's
nah.
do him a favor.
They
Arbeloa,
didn't
his former
they
player.
didn't even know. At least the players didn't know. Maybe the coaches
Yeah.
did, but the players didn't know what's
Uh,
going on. Benfica needed
Of
Just
one
course
more
they would
FYI,
know
goal.
now.
just
Of
FYI,
course they would
Magic had two
know.
red
Of course they
cards.
would know.
The players would not
Oh,
know
they
though.
did?
The
Yeah,
players would
Who
not
got a
Magic
know.
red
had two
card?
red cards.
Your
Asensio
right back, that useless Peterman.
and Rodrigo.
Yeah, Rodrigo.
Rodrigo got, but he didn't start.
He,
Yeah,
doesn't matter. You can get a record
How
for
the
this
hell did he get a
game.
red card?
He cares at the ref. The Indian in him came out.
Telling you, man. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on. Some rubbish.
wait. Before we move on, who won the league
No,
phase?
So it doesn't matter.
Who won the league phase?
Small picking sunshine. That's not
It
tonight's topic,
has.
sir. That's not tonight's topic, sir.
It has. Queen K, you see,
No,
it has.
how isn't
you
hating?
know what's funny? Hold on,
We're
hold on,
speaking
hold on, hold
facts.
on. What happened on Sunday?
What happened on
Sunday.
Sunday? Don't
Was it
worry.
Sunday or Saturday? It was Sunday, right? Yeah, what happened on Sunday?
United beat Arsenal.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
And what
Yeah,
else?
just making sure.
Who did you guys play today? Who did you guys play today? Don't worry. When we win that league, you guys will be walking around shouting, "At least we beat the champions." Anyway, let's move on.
We'll come
Move
back
on.
to this. Okay.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
We'll be back.
Woo.
All right. With that said, and yeah, Arsenal has finished the league phase, top of the table. Kudos to y'all. If I'm doing well, clock it, clock it. But tonight's topic is very interesting. I think for most of our listeners, you have probably been seeing a lot of videos. Well, let me say content, since we're in the content era, right? You guys most likely have been seeing a lot of content from this streamer. And sorry, I don't know if it's just because I'm too old or because I'm not very, into YouTube and things like that. But this guy, his name is Ishowspeed, and from what Queen K and Chef Car and Blessa have been telling me, he's a huge YouTube streamer. So anybody wants to give any more details as to who this guy is before we continue?
I don't think it's a YouTube.
It's not really YouTube. It's like Twitch. He just streams in a lot of platforms, yeah, but mostly Twitch. But he's
Oh,
pretty much popular all over, If you're
um,
on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, you've seen him.
isn't that the guy that says Sue,
He
Sue,
does, yeah.
Sue,
The biggest Ronaldo fan on the planet, according to him.
Yeah,
Sue? More than you,
I believe
Carson?
it.
I said according to him.
According to him.
But
All
if he's
right.
at least he
Though.
met Ronaldo, so
Damn.
Okay, so so what?
Damn.
just saying,
Hey, that's
What
very.
Very,
does
He has.
What does meeting
Bro,
Ronaldo have to do with
he has
me?
very
Ronaldo
subtle,
jerseys.
very
Carl, how many
subtle
Ronaldo
jab.
jerseys do you have?
None.
There we
Not a
go.
single one. Not a single one.
There we go.
Have
Yeah,
to.
I have none. And I'm a Ronaldo fan.
I
Shame
have
on
two in
me.
red, two in red.
Shame on me.
Yeah, so speaking of Mr. Ishow Speed, he is currently making his way across the
he
continental
just
Africa.
finished.
He just finished.
Yeah, the tour's
Oh,
over.
let me rephrase. He's been making his way across the continent of Africa. I don't know how many countries you touch. I think they're probably like
20.
16, 20, 20. Okay,
20.
20. Wow. Okay, you seem to. Do you want to take over this topic and continue?
No,
Because
I'm
you
looking
seem
right
to.
here. That's why.
Oh, Google.
I'm telling
That's what I
you.
was looking at too.
Our Googler. Um, so pretty much tonight's topic is more about culture and the power of presence, right? So when we talk about the continent of Africa, many people always seem to say Africa is a country, but as Ishowspeed has shown over the last, how long has it been in Africa?
He was there for 28 days.
28 days. Oh, I think I saw something about 28 days, 20 countries.
Hmm.
Yeah, so just like Mr. Ishowspeed has shown us, Africa is not a country, it is a continent, and he's been there 28 days, touring 20 countries. My question, very first question, ladies first, is why does this moment matter for Africa?
So let me start. So I saw a video on Ingram of a woman explaining how by speed going on this African tour has disrupted and killed what the narrative of what different countries like European countries, America have been trying to depict Africa as a poor country that needs a helping hand. They have nothing to offer. The kids are dying and all that stuff. Speed has really came and changed his perspective from especially for younger children of what Africa is because they never really understood that Africa, they knew Africans have culture, but they didn't understand the depth of it and how deep it goes and how a lot of these countries, like with Ghana, the shea butter. I watched a clip of how Speed was actually surprised that a lot of the shea butter comes from like Ghana is the original country for shea butter and a lot of the shea butter comes from Ghana. He was like, "Whoa, I didn't know that." So it's just like it really just breaks the curse to and then it just brings people immerses people into our culture so people can actually see like this is beautiful. This is where everything really stems from. Everything stems from Africa pretty much, and we are not the poor. Oh, help the poor African. 5 cents a day can feed a hungry family in Africa stereotype that we've been pushed on. So I've actually been loving it, honestly and truly.
Word.
Clock it, clock it. Lezo,
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
um, let me give you this small context, right? As far
Hmm.
as people traveling to Africa, right? I think for us Africans, we know that Africa is home, regardless of what country we're in. The fact that we land in Africa in any country, we just once we get out of the plane, for us, it's like it's home, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I don't know who this guy is, but I remember he was talking to someone going to Africa,
yeah.
asking them what they were going to do, and then they said that I'm going to Africa to help. Right? I think that particular phrase has become controversial in the sense that people, for example, if you look at like all these different things, missionaries, NGOs that went there in Africa, there's that notion that Africa needs help, right? And that help has to come from outside, all right? So when someone says, I'm going to Africa to help, that particular phrase has become controversial in the sense that Africa needs help, but that help can be found within Africa itself. It doesn't have to come from the outside. All right. So what are your thoughts on that particular phrase? And do you think it's um it's negative or is it a positive way for non-traveler who don't understand what Africa really is to be able to say that?
I think it depends on how you look at it. Because yes, we know like Africa has a lot of knowledge, but sometimes we don't have resources. And if we can get resources from outside of the country or the continent, I don't see what's wrong in that. And there's also been times where like maybe there's like Like, I think like Haiti, or like when there's a pandemic somewhere, you see doctors and firefighters leave other countries to get help. So I don't think that it's a negative thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, we have like doctors, we have nurses, when it comes to health, but sometimes we don't have the facilities, we don't have the equipment to
Mm.
to be able to take care of our own people in Africa. So I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing. I don't really see it as a negative thing. I'm more of a positive person. So I mean, I try to see the positive out of every situation. But I can understand why some people see it as negative.
Chef Car,
What up? What up?
we are in the media, not media, we're in the content era, right? We're,
Mm-hmm.
we're, we're in the content area. So I think I saw this on one video where someone was saying that when BBC is in Africa trying to look for something to showcase Africa, whenever they see skyscrapers, they lock their cameras. But when they see
The
when they
flies.
see the flies, those conditions, that's when they bring the entire media, the entire media team, right? But I think over the last 28 days of, Ishowspeed being in Africa, what we've seen is raw, unscripted content that is more honest than the curated media portrayals that we've been seeing from this big organization. So what are your thoughts on that?
To start off with, just kind of give credit where it's due, right? I know we're talking about Speed and the impact that he's made, but a lot of other
Hmm.
people have actually made such an impact as well, if not more. You have a lot of different comedians, artists,
Right.
celebrities that have constantly championed, right, Africa, going back there. People like Vic Mensa, like, found traces roots back to Ghana and is constantly preaching things like that, right? So they're showcasing, and we're talking a little bit more about that. And I think the prevalence of African artists coming to America, doing shows, doing way better than American artists. You actually see a lot of jealousy now with some American artists, like, damn, how is this person doing stuff like that? Now they're seeing like there's real wealth in Africa. Now you're seeing more artists go back to Africa, do more shows, or at least try to cater to the African audience, right? So I think that pop media influence has definitely made a huge change with in regards to that. Now, to go back to this specific impact, it was nice seeing, because nowadays content is not controlled by the media. Now we can actually see a lot of different perspectives and things like that. And this was very key and critical for us to see, Speed in Morocco and Algeria. Although there are bad influence, there are bad moments there, right? We got to see great infrastructure that these kids nowadays would never get the opportunity to see. So I think it's a very good example for the BBCs, the other CNNs and stuff like that to follow through and actually showcase some of these things, because even there's an entertainment to be found in Africa, but we're the most entertaining group ever. You can
Right.
still create great content by showing the positive, and I think this has actually done a great job of showing that.
Good point. I
Yeah.
like I like how you brought in, sorry, Blazer. I like how you brought in that, I know Speed is because of his following and we're able to see it more compared to
Yeah.
these other creators. But to your point, right, we do have a lot of different creators now that are showcasing not just Africa, right? I think we're focused on Africa here, but a lot of people are going back to their respective countries, showcasing the different things that the countries have to offer. And it's great to see because a lot of times we might have, doubts to go visit the country, but when
Hmm.
these creators, put out content that showcases the things that you might definitely enjoy, but based on what you've seen or heard in the past, have
Yeah.
kind of made you not want to go. Now you're just like, oh wow, this is actually the country that I've been looking at. Now I definitely want to go. Sorry, Blazo, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, no. I think I was going to say something similar. And then Carson mentioned something about like raw content. And one thing that like really impressed me about this like speed store is like he was just having fun. Like the guy is just he's
Hmm.
just like a happy person. Like nothing
Agreed.
offends this guy. My goodness. To be honest, when I first saw like the first video of Speed, um, I wasn't really like a fan because I just felt like he was doing too much.
That's just his
And then
personality.
He does do
yeah,
too much.
right.
That's why
He
he's
And
does
then
do too much a
annoying to
lot.
me though.
right. So like in
Yeah.
the beginning, he was annoying, right? I felt like he was doing too much. And then like I stumbled on more videos, and then I was like, oh, this guy is actually not that bad. Like I've seen videos of him helping people. I've seen videos of him like, going to like Best Buy and buying a computer for somebody who is like, for a kid who is out there with the mom because Mother's Day
Hmm.
is coming. I've seen him do so many great things. I've seen him buy shoes for people. So like I've just become a big fan of the guy, man. And then the
Yeah.
fact that he goes to Africa and he does not judge anybody, all the like, activities that, were put in front of him. He, took part in all those activities,
Yeah.
and he was just a happy guy, man. So like that's one thing that really
Yeah.
impressed me about this his tour.
One thing we should
So
remember also is that he's just a kid, right? He's very
He
young.
just turned he turned
yeah.
21 in Nigeria.
He turned 21, right? Yeah,
Right.
I think I did see a birthday cake at some point. Yeah, so he's just a young guy. He's just trying
Yeah.
to figure out, and I think I heard that in Ghana he has Ghanaian heritage or somehow. I don't
No
know.
clue.
I don't know if that's true or
I'm
not.
not sure. They gave
If
him
it's
a
true,
Ghanaian name. They
passport.
Yeah, they
they
gave
They
him a
gave him a
Ghanaian.
passport
Yeah.
indoctrinated
too.
Oh,
him.
they did?
Yeah, they gave
Yes.
him passport, a Ghanaian passport
Yeah,
today
yeah.
as
I
well.
saw something about this. Some king was doing some whatever it
Yeah,
was
they
they're doing.
indoctrinated him and gave him his Ghanaian name.
Yeah, Carson wants
Ghana
to say
has
something.
given a lot of people. No, I'm saying to add to what you're saying. Ghana was giving a lot of people citizenship. Idris Elba, like
Oh
They give
yeah,
me
they're just dashing
citizenship.
it. I
and
think
then
they actually have a program where they're trying to get ex the people from the states and
yeah,
all
if
Oh
over,
you're
right,
yes,
to come
it's
investing,
through.
it's
if
been
Yeah,
you're
going on for a
investing,
and
while.
yeah.
invest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think what I was gonna point out in regards to speed, right? I think it's like it showcased like how much times have changed. Like
Hmm.
Mm.
I would never have expected like Africa, like people in Nigeria, Ghana to be streamers, like like
Yes,
especially
there's a lot
in
of them.
we have crazy situations, things like that, and the reception he got, like he was one of the biggest celebrities out there, and that just shows,
Nigerians
right,
was
that
getting
these
like
kids in America to see, like,
Hmm.
look, we got the same, we're watching these streams just like y'all are, we have internet just like y'all are. So like it wasn't necessarily showcased, right? Like we talked about, maybe he didn't showcase like the infrastructure and all this other stuff. But if people can actually just open their eyes, they will see like, look, we have the same exact access that people do in America when it comes to like the internet, right? And he has that same fan base. So who's to say that the next African kid now, and I think that's what it provided really hope for those people in Africa, right? You can actually cross platforms and actually be the next big streamer anywhere that you are. And him going there and them even doing content, you see people say, "Oh, how many likes before I get, for you to hop in my stream?" Things like that. People are going to end up collaborating with him, African streamers, and they're going to blow up as well. So I think that was a really good thing that he did for them too.
Let me give Africa some credit, man. Let me give Africa some credit. So obviously there are people back home that watch these streams, right? And then there are people who have no idea what those streams are, right? You just hear say speed day for some side. You have never heard of speed, but
Yeah,
because people are going that direction, you just run and go to that direction.
yeah.
And then they're just there supporting the guy as if they have known him from day one. I thought the African people were very welcoming. And then we talk about like Ghana giving him a passport. Like when people come into our Africa, we treat them with care. We treat them very highly. We make them want to come back. I don't know if I can say the other way when
Hold on.
Africans go to other
So I have a
countries.
question for you. I have a
Uh-huh.
question for you. How do you think he would have done in Burkina Faso? Because
Forget that. Bring you home to Cameroon. What happened in Cameroon?
Cameroon is
Forget
next level. Cameroon
They
is
will
next
finish you.
level.
They will finish you, Babalo. They will finish me, Babalo.
Chepele. You think you carry go
Chapele.
Chepele? You carry go Chepele.
What's at you, man? At you. What's at you?
Yo,
Nah,
what's
but
that, chat?
I'm glad Chef Carl brought up youth, right? Because I think the youths, like you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
They as in the West, right? They can now see that the youths in Africa actually are excelling in a lot of different things, right? Not just streaming, but if you look at the content coming out of the continent of Africa, um, you like dancing, DJs,
Hmm.
people that even the young designers now making clothes. But I wanted to ask two questions, right? Back on our, why all this matters, right? So, do you guys think that him being there, does it um break stereotypes or does it reinforce them? That's one question. Second question is in terms of the narrative, right? Who really controls it now? The two questions I want to pose to you guys.
Hmm. Okay, with the stereotype, he's breaking it, but at the same time, he's reinforcing it because not in a bad way. I feel like with the stereotype, with reinforcing it, he's okay. He went to Kenya, right? And he went to the Masa Maria. I
Masai.
apologize if I'm saying
Masai
that wrong.
Mara.
Masai tribe, yeah.
Then he went
Right.
to their tribe, and pretty much show the huts and them jump in order for them to court a woman and whoever is jumped the highest. And people have that stereotype that, oh, I see Africans live in huts. And it's like it's not a stereotype because it is true. Like some of us do, like depending on the tribe and where you are, there are some like tribes and people that do live in huts, but it's not the way that they're thinking
They
that
put it in
as
context that's
yes,
why they're
exactly.
doing
It's
it.
the
Yeah.
context. Like the way people are thinking when they say we live in huts, it's like, no, y'all, we do, but no. So it it clarifies the stereotype a little bit, but I will see some people will use that as like, no, see, we were right. See, we were right, all of them living. It's like, no, it's just some tribes and all that stuff. But it does break a lot of stereotypes, honestly and truly, because people don't understand. The people that talk bad about Africa are just truly because they don't understand. It's what the media has constantly be feeding them all for how many years, like how Carlson was saying, the building, instead of them showing videos of the building, they will just know, just they see flies everywhere and a child sick, and that's beautiful, that's what we want. So it really shows like the culture, the beauty behind it. Like I love the clip for when he was in Ivory Coast with, I don't know what Ivory Coast called their things, but I'll just say jujus. When he was with dancing with the juju, and he was showing them like this is the fastest dance ever in Ivory Coast, and he was trying to see how fast he can move his legs. I honestly thought it was just so, so beautiful because people don't see that side, don't see the beauty of it. And it's like, man, I just love being African. Like I don't even know what to say. It just really brings light, and it just spreads the joy of this is really what Africa is. It's not a place where you go and just help people. Because whenever you say you're going to Africa, they think that you're going to just be doing some charity work. No, you can actually go on vacation in Africa. If anything, I prefer to vacation in Africa compared to anything else. Me and Ben are supposed to be going to Senegal, you guys. So like please, you can enjoy that continent.
Beauty of the juju, aka masquerade.
The Zauli,
Mm,
as they call it in Ivory Coast.
mhm.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
But to what Karen said too, right? I think one thing to point out, and I want to be very like intentional about pointing out some of these things. He went to visit with an open mind. He didn't go
Right.
there with a closed mind or anything. He went there open, ready to absorb the culture and everything else like that. So if people are thinking they're gonna go back and just be standoffish, that's not the approach, and they will humble you really, really, really quickly. Like as long as you have that open mind, that's why he was so welcome, even in remote areas where they don't know him.
Right.
He with the food, if you didn't like it, it was authentic, but it was still an open mind. He still tried it. He didn't disrespect
Right.
anybody or anything else like that. So I just wanted to really point out, like, to actually give him more credit because that
Right.
was super impressive.
He was very respectful.
I agree.
Hmm. And even Kai Cenat, when he went to Nigeria as well, stuff like that, probably the second biggest streamer, if not the biggest. Same thing, very much open mind, and stuff like that. So definitely want to give him some credit for that.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to our African proverb, which Carson already kind of went ahead and described it a little bit.
Oh wow.
Um, but the proverb says, "The eye that travels sees more than the ear that listens."
Hmm.
Mm, mm.
I'll say it one
Say
more
it one more
time.
time. Yeah.
Of course, of course. The eye that travels sees more than the ear that listens. Hmm. Chef Carr, you are already ahead of your time, so just finish explaining what this proverb means to us so we can move on. Thank you, sir.
I get put on the spot again.
No,
Well,
you already have it. That's why I'm sending
no,
it.
just continuing, right? So continue what we're saying. So in direct to that, we want to think about it literally. You're going to be able to see further than you can hear. Let's just start off with that, right? So that's already one thing. Second, it's also like, hey, keep an open mind, go see for yourself, visit, right? As opposed to taking the word of somebody else, right? As opposed to just listening to your surroundings and things like that. You want to be more cultured, you want to be more experienced, and the only way to do that is to, clear up your mind, open it up, and actually go out there, get your, and explore whatever it is that you're trying to do, right? If you're trying to learn something new, inverse is not inverse.
Immerse.
Immerse yourself, yeah,
Immersion.
in it, right? Be one with it, see it, live it, as opposed to reading about it. You're gonna learn more by being immersed in something as opposed to maybe getting second or third hand experience.
Facts, man. Facts,
Facts. Clock
man.
it, clock it,
Facts.
clock it.
Yeah, because whenever I see people like, sorry, even with like racism, like when I see people are racist, I'm just like, you live in Iowa. Where have you seen a black person for you to be racist?
Oh my God.
Yo, Iowa taking straight
Yeah.
shots right now.
Like
Bruh,
you get what
bruh,
I'm
bruh.
saying? Like you are the most racist white person in this world, but you're from Iowa and you've never left that state. I know for a fact you've never met a white person because no white. I mean, I know you've never met a black person because what black person is in Iowa? So where is the racism coming from? The racism is not coming because you've actually seen black people and you know you've interacted with. The racism is because you're just hearing. Like it makes no sense to me.
There are actually a lot of Cameroonians in Iowa. A
I
lot.
I know a few.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I think a lot of times it's not even just like racism, it's just ignorance. Or you don't know what's out there. You have a lot of people who have never been on a plane and
Mm.
they have
Never
no
left their
interest of,
town or their
yeah,
city.
Yeah,
right.
preconceived
They have no
notions.
interest of getting on the plane, and like 3 hours for them is like they've traveled. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It's like, yeah, they took a trip to like Kansas City or something. It's like, whoa, bro, like there's more to this life and more to this world than just like, getting in the car and driving 3 hours on the highway. So it's just ignorance, and a lot of people just don't know. They just don't know. So, and sometimes I look at it, you can't really blame them because what they saw on TV is what they know. The same way as when we were back home, when I was a kid, when I watched movies and I saw people just entering cars in America, I didn't know you have to come to America and walk and buy your own car. I thought you can just get out and enter any
Come
Bro,
car
they'd
and
be
collect.
you're
like,
done.
taxi, taxi, taxi.
Yeah,
And then stop and just
exactly.
enter and go. No
And just
price,
enter.
nothing. Just go.
Thank
Like, what?
you.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
never see them
So,
pay in movies, right?
yeah.
Never.
So I don't blame them. So you just come out, enter a car, and we go and park. The next person comes and enters the car. You enter.
Hmm.
That's what
I do
America
blame you
was.
to a certain extent because as a child, obviously, yes, but as an adult, for you to still think that life is what TV is, please, like, come on, you're better than that.
Nah, Karen, to his point, there's not necessarily just about TV, right? Like TV plays a factor in it. But let's say I had the same experience by watching TV. The next person did. We're gonna talk, and at that point, that is going to be our reality. And if it's our reality, why would I change that? Why would I challenge that if I'm not interacting with other people elsewhere? Which kind of goes back to that quote that we have, right? If you're not stepping outside of your comfort zone, you might never learn, and you will never know that you're learning the wrong thing or you're doing the wrong thing.
Exactly, and I agree. That's something like, but I will fault you to a certain extent because
I
because I don't care as an adult, as a child, that's different. Like, okay, you're beautiful, but as an adult, for you to just blatantly believe anything that you just like see that is not truly reality, I'm not gonna sit here and be, oh, they don't know better. Okay, you should be trying to know better. You're an adult, please.
I mean, like
again,
you know certain things because you have been exposed to certain things and you've spoken to other people and
thank
you've
you.
learned from them. If you grow up not knowing that, not be getting exposed, not talking about other things and how things happen in different places, it's all you know. That's really
No,
all
I
you know.
understand that. I understand that, but I'm
Okay,
still gonna say it's still your responsibility as a human being to do your part to know better.
That
If
depends. That depends, Queen K, because if you think about it, right, there's a certain tribe that I don't want to call them, put them on the spot here, but Carson, you know them, they're Lancaster, PA.
yep,
That particular tribe is that's how their culture. That's what their norm is. So everything
yep,
happens within that culture. They're not allowed to even if they want to get out, they have
yeah,
to go through a certain process. But culturally, they are born
yeah.
there, they live there, they die there, they stay within the
And you
culture.
live a certain
They
way.
don't go anywhere. They live a certain way, like Carson
Yeah,
said. So that is that's something that you have to consider.
yeah. It's a culture thing. So to fault someone for their culture, because they
oh
can do
yeah,
the
I'm
same
still
for
standing on
ours.
what it is that I said because I like I said at the end of the day, I do understand that some cultures do not expand out of that, but then if you're just like I'm still sticking with my statement. You still have your
I
part. If you
mean,
want to
you're
do it, you can go
Let's
ahead and
agree to
do it.
disagree.
yeah, you're entitled to your opinion, right? But it's the thing is, can you see their point of view? Can you see why
I
they're
literally
doing
just
certain
I
things
see
that
their
way?
point of view. I can still see your point of view
And
and
okay, and
still
we can stop there, right? But saying it's dumb, saying they're irresponsible, that's where it's like, okay, cool. Now it's like you're saying yours is better.
I'm not
That's
saying
when you,
mine is better
but when you
because
use language like that, you're implying that. That's the point. You can see the point and disagree. That's all.
yeah, but if you're going to have your opinion and your opinion spews hate, and that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from like the stance of where people have viewpoints
Hmm.
and they refuse to go outside of their culture, and their viewpoint is just pure hate, and just like that's when I'm just like, no, like I don't care, you guys. Like if that's just your culture and it's not hindering me or anybody's business, it's just hindering you, go ahead. That's your business. But once it starts to come and it's now, oh, we're at war with other people because I don't understand you and I refuse to understand you, that's when I have a problem. Like
So does them thinking we live in huts hinder you? Like, fam.
it does to an extent because then they have that savior concept mindset that they come to Africa to save us, but they fail to realize by constantly having other people come from other countries just helping and not actually giving us the resource, because you can keep on giving me fish. You can keep on giving me fish, but if you don't teach me how to fish, it doesn't matter that you keep on giving me fish.
Yeah,
Hey, at
I
least you
get.
helped me not be hungry for a moment.
right.
You're
I
not
get
wrong,
what.
but I
You
would
still
rather
helped.
But
have.
You
But
didn't
then
hinder
it
me.
makes
You still
Africa go
helped me.
into a cycle because that's what they want. Because then we now become more dependent on them in order, and instead of them teaching us, so
Okay.
that we don't have to depend on them anymore. It's
I,
like,
I
I do
don't
get.
think
I
I
do
don't
get
think
it.
that's the debate, and I don't and we can really debate that. But I don't really think that's the problem. So I'm just gonna
okay,
shut
that's
up.
not okay. What
But
you,
I would say
but
yeah,
I'm
like
just saying,
I
like,
think
if
I
it's the
understand a
culture that's
little bit.
like spewing hate and all that stuff, like, I don't care if that's your culture and all that stuff. Please don't let it be
Yeah,
hindering me because you don't want
Where
to expand your
I think I
viewpoint.
understand a little bit what she's trying to say, but don't let a small group of people,
influence
in
hinder you.
influence,
your
right?
yes.
Because there are people that are actually trying to go out there and learn. So
Mm-hmm.
in every group, you're going to have those small people that are those doubting Thomas, or what do they call them, or people that
Mm-hmm.
don't believe. Yeah. So yeah,
Plezo,
yes, sir.
let's quickly put speed aside for a moment and focus on a few other things, right? So, my question for you, right? There's a restaurant that everyone is now talking about in Cameroon, right? That famous restaurant that everyone is now talking about. And without this particular guy, I think his page is Travel Cameroon. Um, without him, most of us would never have heard about that particular restaurant, right? So do you think that content creators are now today's diplomats of the world?
Yeah. Times have changed, though. Times have changed. So yes, a lot of things I learned because I'm on Instagram, and I'm now turning into a TikTok head. So yeah, so we have to hold
Get
them
off
very
my
high.
day. Yes,
We have to hold them very high. Thank them for what they do. So
Mr.
that's what I'm going
Downloader.
to say. Yes. Thank them for what they do. I'm thanking them because without them, I will not know a lot of things. When you look at like Instagram, you see like restaurants, you see like hotels, or see like vacation spots. So yes, I mean we have to hold them very high. Let not stop doing what they're doing.
Chef Carl, read me this, right?
Hold on, hold on.
And,
To add to what Blesso said,
mm-hmm.
remember we used to go on Google reviews to go and see a restaurant. Now we go on Instagram and TikTok. TikTok.
MapQuest. Hey,
Tell you.
Oh, don't talk about
man. Back
MapQuest,
in
bro.
the
Don't talk
Ah,
about MapQuest. I don't think Queen K is old enough to know what MapQuest is. Are you
I
old enough?
am.
All right.
No,
she was still she was still in the
I'm
car
in
seat
that
when we're using
transition
MapQuest.
of, mind you,
She
I
was in
got
the
my
car seat.
first phone when I was like 12. And I know you're probably like, what? That's too early. No, these kids are getting their first phones out the womb. So I had a childhood.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
At
Damn.
Anyway.
those days where you had to print the Google Maps,
Mm.
the paper.
So
Yes, I know
okay.
that. I know that
All
time.
right.
God,
She
I lived
was
the
in a
God,
time
car seat
when,
God
then.
forbid, yeah. God forbid you miss your exit
like,
Except to
when
literally,
you're
God.
on
I was
paper.
there when the first like actual GPS came out, that block box that you had
Tum
to
tum.
like.
Tom. Yeah. Yeah.
So
You
yeah,
Good
I
know,
was
times,
there
you
for
know
man.
your
those
stuff.
things.
Queen
Yeah,
K, how old were you in like 2012?
I was 12.
It's 2000 maybe, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So all these
Or
things you're
was it?
describing is from someone else doing it though, because they know you were printing no damn maps.
No,
Because
I was.
2012, we were
I
already on
was.
our
I
phones
was
with
the
GPS, bro.
directioner
We were
because
How about
my
already
then?
on our
parents would
phones, bro.
drive
What
and
do you
I would hold the.
mean? We were already
How
on
about that?
phones.
There ain't no
No,
ink in the printer, bro.
Because
Mhm.
bro, I used to work at Staples. I did not say a single GPS. Garmin, all of them were obsolete back then. Yes, I
No,
know.
because no, because my parents, I'm the best when it comes to directions in my family. So they always gave me that role because I read directions very well and I have like a very good memory. So I was always the one that was in charge of directions.
Okay.
So if
Continue,
I'm telling
Mr.
you these things,
Benigno.
Yeah,
I'm
doing
not
well.
telling from somebody else's experience. That means I had to experience if I I
Yes. Sorry, Carson, we apologize to you later. Not right now.
Yes, I apologize on his
Hmm.
behalf.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, so before we start talking about printed maps and whatnot, so serious question here, right? I know this whole thing is good, right? But I think one thing to also consider is, and going back to the discussion about people being ignorant, things like that, right? So where is there a line between entertainment and education over the last 28 days of Ishowspeed being in Africa
wait, him in particular or just in general?
in general?
Wait,
I'm using him as an example.
I'm gonna say
What was the
something and then
question?
I can let somebody else continue.
Go
Hmm.
ahead.
What did you say? What did they always say when we were growing up? Learning without playing makes what?
Jack and Dog Boy.
Jack a dull
John.
boy. So, or is Jack or is John, JJ, anyone. So that's all I wanted to say.
No, my question is more of everything that you've seen, right? And let's not just focus on speed, right? A lot of content creators as well. Um, entertainment versus education. Where's the line?
That's for you to figure out.
I'll say this one out. I'm gonna let Carl take this one.
Damn, Carter, put you on the spot.
Oh, I'm damn. Okay. Entertainment versus education. Where's the line?
Education, yeah.
Hmm. I think it's all about intent. Coming down to it. So, being that I'm actually in the field of educating people in corporate environments, stuff like that, everything is all about intent, right? It's how can you capture your audience and who is your
Mm-hmm.
audience? What's the best way to capture your audience? If you're acting a fool, but yet there's an actual message that's being received by your audience, some
Mm-hmm.
people might not like it, but it's all depending on who your audience is. And yes, it might take part in it, but if you deliver on that and you hit that intent in every single point, there is no line. Go as far as you can, right? Now, I'm not saying there are no consequences to what you do. There's a different story. Because yes, as much as there's no line to achieve that goal in terms of that, certain things might happen in regards to that. So it's all a balancing act, right? What are you trying to achieve? And what are you going to lose potentially if you achieve your goal? Nowadays, we're seeing a lot of these, streamers going out there, popping bottles, in Nigeria, in Ghana, that's December, all these things, right? Yeah, they're, not showcasing the right behavior, quote unquote, right? That we would really want to say, oh, go waste money, go do things like that, right? But at the same time, they're actually doing some good by showcasing, like, hey, there's another point of view besides what you've been told by the media and things like that. So someone can sit there and fault them, which I'm sure people are like, maybe you could have done things differently and things like that. But hey, who's your audience? What is the goal? And what are you going to do to achieve it? As long as you're within your set of rules, I don't think there's any line whatsoever.
Okay. And to add to that, sorry, Quinky, I'm going to add this to you. I didn't want to add on that, but so with everything that Carson just said, right? Especially when he talked about intent, right? Um, the impact of content creators, is it measured by intent or by the outcome?
Outcome.
The
Elaborate.
That's how
impact
they
of
pay their
them,
bills.
The impact, the impact of everything that we see from content creators, right? Do you think it's measured by their intent or the outcome of what they're producing?
Outcome for the most part for them. I'm not saying that all content creators they it's mainly their outcome, but that's how they get paid. They don't
Paid
get paid by intent. They get
intent.
paid by outcome. Who because that brings in more views, that brings in more income, everything like that. So that's why, like on social media, I want people, yes, to follow these content creators, but do not hold them on a high pedestal because they will do things that needs to be done in order for the algorithm one to favor them. In order for the algorithm to favor them, for the most part, it comes by rage. That's why rage baiting is so popular because if you can spew anger, hate, or any of these negative emotions you will get more views. So, and then two, That's how they get paid. That's the money. So they don't like, yes, they care about the intent, but the intent needs to be with dollar signs in front of them. So that's why, like, back to your question with the entertainment and reality, people, regardless of whatever it is that you're watching, do not take it for face value. At the end of the day, you still have to do your own research, because as good as a documentary or a streaming can be that they're trying to expose you to something, look at that and go back and do your own research to see if this is true, because at the end of the day, media is a form of entertainment at the end of the day. That's what media is is for, and it's it's a big platform that people get money off of. So, yeah.
Okay, okay. So moving on real quick, right? I know like we all saw the millions of people, not millions, thousands of people that came out to run by Speed, to see him, celebrating him, create content with him. I'm sure that many other content creators have seen this and they're looking at Africa like, wow, tasty, right? So some of them are probably planning their own trip now to go back to the motherland. So Blazo, I know you like to go to Africa. Ah, yeah, African boy. So what do you think, that do you think that this whole experience of Ishowspeed in particular, but also many other content creators that have gone to the motherland, um, what do you think it says about Africa being like an untapped destination for just not just content, but for its resources and just the potential that Africa holds?
Well, Africa has always had a lot of potential. And actually, there are more content creators going to Africa to, to create, to do content and whatnot. Because I follow a lot. I love watching a lot of vlogs on YouTube. So especially the ones that have food. Like as someone say download,
Hmm.
I know. But yeah, there are a lot of
Mr. Downloader.
in the
Yes.
flesh, in the flesh. But yeah, there are a lot of content creators that go to Africa and create content, so I think that with speed going is going to motivate more people to go back and see all the culture, because just looking at it, you'll be like, oh wow, he went to so and so place. I think K mentioned something about shea butter from Ghana. Just seeing that, and then it can motivate someone to go back and learn, what there is, what more is there to Africa. And then there are also a lot of streamers back home in Africa, especially in Nigeria. You have like the Pellas, you have the girl who does the robot thing, whatever her name is. What's her name again? Whatever her
Not
name is.
sure.
And she and her and Speed actually did like a little something. So I think just him going there has also like, motivated a lot of people in Africa to, probably pursue like their own um content creating thing or like streaming thing, because
Yes.
yeah, content creating or streaming careers, because first of all, that guy has a lot of money from all those views. So if you are seeing that and it's not motivating you, then the problem is you.
The
Even
thing
though
Not
is,
to
I've
cut you
tried.
off, right? Not
Yeah,
not to cut you off, right? We know what African brothers and sisters back home, right?
yeah,
And I know you talked about collaborations, right?
yeah,
But me and you know that the average two Africans together, right? Ain't no way they want to compete. That's just how Africans are, right? Instead of collaborating together, they want to compete against each other,
100%.
right? And that's the thing that I think it kills a lot of content creators in not just Africa but also here, right? Like there's room for everyone to make it, right? There's room for everyone to make it. Share ideas, right? I
yeah,
think compete. It's not not just me, but what's your take?
yeah. No, you're actually right, right? Because like I think that when people want to start something, whether it's content creating or starting a business, or they they want to run before even crawling, right? They forget that they can, learn from someone. Hey, how do you do this thing? Let me learn from you before, eventually getting standing on my own feet and then doing my own thing. When they start off the bat, they want to start competing, and that's how they fail drastically. That's how they fail drastically, because they want to compete right off the bat instead of just saying, I'm a humble boy, or let me learn from you. How do you do this thing? How did you get to this level? And learn. so that one day they can be that big. But I think there were some videos of like some streamers trying to like, there was the guy I mentioned earlier, Pella. I kind of felt bad for him because I think that's like the one person that like Speed like did not respond to, kind of just ignored, because he was like, I'm Pella, I'm big, let's do something together. I'm a streamer, the big streamer, something like that. And Speed just kind of like did not respond to him. And then later, I saw a video of Speed collaborating with another creator, or another content creator that happened to be the Pella's ex-girlfriend. So
Damn.
I wonder if that had any relation or whatever. But yeah, well, I thought that was interesting.
Where be your own bros.
Beyond
I'm
bros.
telling you, wonderful.
He was getting millions of views, you guys. Like
Mm.
the Nigerian one, I think he has like 21 million views.
Nigeria, whether we like to accept it or not, Nigeria, when it comes to like
Be careful
content
before you say
and
what you want to
I know,
say.
right? We'll cut you
Just
off.
be very careful before you say what you want to say. Let me just tell you right now. I beg,
when
don't
it
even
comes,
say it. Don't even say it. Don't even say it. Don't even say it, please. Just keep it to yourself,
I was just
please.
trying to give my
I want to
Nigerians some
sleep
credit,
tonight.
man.
I want to
You want
sleep
to
tonight,
sleep with
please. I want to sleep tonight,
I
please.
was just trying
Don't
to give
even
my
say
Nigerians
it.
some credit, man.
No, 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 no. Don't even say that, beg, please.
All right,
We need
all
to
right,
sleep. Ah.
okay, all right, all right.
Wise
I
words, wise
I ain't
words,
gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. I'm taking the
wise
wise decision to not
words.
say it.
All right. Speaking of wise words,
Mhm.
by the way, kudos to you guys. Great conversation. I think one thing that we can all say here is that, don't just hear about Africa, go see it, right? I think that's one key message that we should take out from not just what Ishowspeed is doing, but from what we're seeing from many other content creators. And guess what? We might be talking about Africa here, but if you want to go to South America, if you want to go to Europe, if you want to go to Asia, right? There are many content creators out there that are showcasing these different places. So don't just hear about it. Definitely, um, definitely go see it. And today's wise words, as we're about to close out, as wise words. I guess it's my turn to give wise words today.
Yes. And while you do that, clip Mama Africa by Akon on here.
Clip
Perfect
Mama
song.
Africa by Akon.
Mama
Ah,
Africa. Yeah. Hmm.
Why which by Akon who has promised us a city and he has not delivered. I beg.
He spread awareness. Just like speed.
He
Just
stole
like
all
speed.
the money
his
and
awareness
Just
is
like
scamming.
speed.
Scam awareness.
scam,
Just like speed.
scam so
Matter of
badly.
fact, no, 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 no. He has done more good than bad. Way more good than bad in Africa. Please.
I'm
Let's give him
locked
some
up.
credit.
They won't let
African
me
music will
out.
not be where it is right now if not for that boy. Let's give him credit.
Can give credit alone. We're okay.
Yeah, he was one of the first to stick his neck out and collaborate with those artists back home
Mm.
when it wasn't a big deal. Let's.
Talking about that though, like I was so impressed when I found out that he had a song with Yusundu.
You see, that's what I'm trying to, bro. Like, give the boy some credits.
I was like, wow,
And
interesting.
and
But yeah,
actually, even this movement of going back to Africa, he was one of the first people saying, "Hey, I'm going back to Senegal." Senegal. He was honestly the first one pushing it back there.
but he didn't build the
So
city though. That's all I'm mad about. That's all
I
I'm
mean,
mad about.
yeah, I get it, right? He's like one of our politicians, of course. He's African indeed. Like,
Oh,
what did he tell us
Deji.
that we didn't know?
Let's
He's
not go
African
there.
indeed. He's
Papa,
African
put me
indeed.
down. Let's not go
But
there.
I
I
don't
don't
tire.
tire. I don't carry my
Carry
heavy
my heavy
cargo.
cargo.
Please just
Papa
drop this wise
God.
words for us,
Put
please.
me down.
Those are the wise words.
All right. I know we're having fun. On a serious note, I mean, this topic is great. We can talk about this topic for days, and it's a very good topic. But in terms of wise words, what we want you guys, our listeners, to take back, right, is that you know content creators in this scenario, I show speed. Content creators can introduce the world to Africa, but they cannot explain it. The future,
Amen.
the future belongs to those who don't just show up with cameras, but who listen long enough to understand what they're seeing.
Mm.
Where'd you read that off of?
Don't think he's that smart. This
I'm
boy is a
telling you,
sense
be
boy.
your
Oh.
own
He went to
people.
PS. He went
It
to
be
Why?
your
PSS
His
own
record.
eyes.
He
people.
I
said,
see his
It
eyes.
be your own people.
"Wow, these boys, wow, you don't think he's that smart?
That's
Oh my
crazy.
God!"
I
No,
never
They
knew
that's
say
the
that.
hold on, hold
a
on.
prophet is not
Ken,
what.
the funny thing is people can write down bullet points, and
Okay,
then
I'm just
look
making
to
sure.
make
I'm
a
just
point to know
making
what they're
sure.
saying and then they're reading.
I'm just
Ha.
Ha!
It be your own
Good night,
people,
good
bro.
night,
Your own
y'all.
family.
Good
Ha.
night,
A
y'all.
prophet
Follow
is
Standard.
not
us.
praised in their hometown.
Follow us
Aye.
exactly. Follow us on Twitter, aka X at Now You Know One. We are also on Instagram at NYK Podcast, and now we are streaming also on YouTube at Now You Know Podcast. It's been fun. I'm yours truly, Bell, here with Chef Carr, Blezo, and some other girl. Good night, guys.
Yep. Good night.
Bestie. Good night.
Mhm.